Hey friends, it is Stephanie here with Festive Creations by Stephanie. Look at what we have on my table. This is so stinking fun. I've been talking about this for almost 2 weeks. My witch hat that I got a couple of weeks ago in part of our supplies. And I'm going to talk about what I did with this witch's hat. This pumpkin is about 12 inches in diameter. It's a huge pumpkin. See how big he is compared to my head? Then, this required a little prep work, so that's why this is already done. So then I removed the stem on the pumpkin. I actually had to, so it's styrofoam. This is not a carvable pumpkin. This is a pure styrofoam pumpkin. And so I took my serrated blade and I went in at an angle and I removed the stem. Then I took my handy dandy can of small gaps and cracks and I added some of this spray foam insulation in the hole where I took this out of, and just a little bit around the edge and a little bit underneath the hat. I actually have photos of that. Then I took some of the spray foam insulation and I added it to the brim right over here. Now, obviously Hobby Lobby, I don't know if you guys have heard or not, but they have declared that they're no longer going to sell Halloween items. So jack-o'-lantern is out at Hobby Lobby. However, if you wanted to do this kind of design and mimic what I'm doing, you certainly could turn this into a jack-o'-lantern. I haven't been to other stores like Home Goods or, yeah, I haven't been to At Home or any place like that to look at a jack-o'-lantern. All right, so what I did, as I said, I added spray foam insulation, and that insulation actually works as an adhesive as well. So it bonded my witch hat to my pumpkin. But now we're going to have a little fun with this. So the first thing I need to do is get rid of that tag on our witch's hat. And I brought out some greenery. Well, actually, it's a bush. It's called a heather fern bush. And I'm going to be using that, and we're going to make we're going to be using this with our witch's hat. We've got a variety of ribbon because, quite honestly, I couldn't decide. I also had these picks in my tote. I do not sell these picks in my store. These are actually from last year, but I thought they would be fun in this design as well. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to make a bow. So this is where I get to decide what it is, which ribbon I'm going to use. Again, not all of these ribbons are available in my store because some of them may be a previous year. This one is available. Ooh, I think this one is, yeah, I don't know, orange and black. But I wanted to make sure I used 2.5 inch in here. I was still trying to debate whether or not this one is so much fun. I really want to use it. You know what? I'm going to go for it. Let's use this one. We're going to use a 4-inch ribbon in here. So let's make a bow. We'll decide as we go. How's that sound? Okay. So some of y'all are scared of 4-inch ribbon. Don't be afraid of 4-inch ribbon. It's actually a lot of fun to work with. And I'm going to come out with about an 8-inch tail and put that down in my Easy Bow Maker. Now this is a woven ribbon, so it's not one that I will dovetail or else it will ravel. If you've ever worked with woven fabric before, you know that it can ravel very easily. And I'm going to make just a half a loop. Ta-da! That's it. That's all we're going to do. Half a loop. I'm going to take my next ribbon. I think my husband went outside. You know what? Let's do an orange an orange one next. We're going to be using, and again, I'm going to do an 8-inch tail, but this time my loop is actually going to go on the opposite side. A good twist. There we go. Where did you get that hat? That hat is actually available in my store at festivecreationsbystephanie.com. I had to have this hat this year. And now we're going to go with yet another ribbon. Except this one's not going to have a loop. It's just simply going to be some tails. All right, there we go. And you'll see why. You shall see why. And I think I want to go with some of this 1.5 inch. That's what we'll go with. I wasn't quite sure what I was going to go with. But I'm liking how that's coming out. All right. Let's tie up that bow with some floral wire. Go through and dovetail these. And again, I'm not going to dovetail that 4-inch because it is a woven, it's a woven, yeah. Y'all know what I mean. So what I do with those is I just kind of give it a little curl under on a woven ribbon, or I can just fold it back over so it has a nice smooth edge. Okay, let's bring it on back out. Bring it on. All right, done with ribbon, done. We have our bow. And this is how I get a pile over here in the corner. Let's put on the jack-o'-lantern. So I did use a couple of U pens, the floral pens that are like in a U shape on each side of this too, after I added my spray foam insulation, just for a little added extra security. There we go. All right, so I'm going to take some of this heather fern bush and give it a few little cuts. So I'm going to be able to get at least 4 cuts, if not, actually a little bit more than that. Let me do 3 big branches. And this one, I have the option into making it smaller, so I'm going to set that aside. So when I added this spray foam insulation over here, it now gave me a foundation to add some floral picks and greenery. So over on the side, oh, you guys can see it. I'm going to add some of that into my spray foam insulation. How stinking fun is that? I may not need him quite that tall still. I'm going to trim him down just a little. Spread it all out. And we're going to do another one coming off on this side. I love it. Like I said, this was inspired by another designer in our community. And when I saw it, and I was looking for just the right thing. And when I saw it, I was like, ooh, I can do something similar. And so I'm making it my own. But isn't that what we do, though, is we look to others for inspiration and end up designing our own, making it our own. And there's nothing wrong with getting inspiration from other people at all. Let's take a little greenery. My glue gun's in the way. And I'm going to take some shorter greenery and add it, integrate it into there. Hello. So this is still the front right here. And this is just a little bit of a mini boxwood that I'm using in this as well. But these hats are amazing even just by themselves. I do a vendor show every year, and I know that my folks at the vendor show will love these hats. Love them. Love, love, love. So now I'm going to take my leftover the other pieces, and I'm going to break those apart, and I'm going to integrate those around here as well. In here. And you may need a pick or not. And I'm going to save this for after we add our bow. So this is the front. So to add my bow, I've put floral wire on the back, but I'm actually going to make this into a pick. And so for this one, I'm actually going to use one of those green floral picks that you get from your floral supply. And I'm going to wrap that wire around my floral pick. Get that as close as possible. And there's that one. And I still may have some trimming to do. I'm going to bring that back a little bit, cut that off, and of course add some glue. Oh, look, I missed one dovetailing. And these are going to be trimmed back just a wee bit. Don't need them quite that long. I want to be able to see the ribbon behind the other ribbon. So that's with us adding the bow. And of course I kept a piece of this boxwood back on purpose, and I do that methodically every time I make a centerpiece or even a grapevine. is I'll keep just a few pieces back so that if I have any holes that need to be filled, I can use that. And if I don't, I still put it in my design. It just makes it fuller. Okay. I love these little curly picks. As I said, these are from last year. So I don't have any of these available in my store this year. I do have some other fun picks, but not those. And we're going to put one on the other side. Yeah, so the hat can be found at festivecreationsbystephanie.com. It is under my Halloween section, or you can just type in witch hat, and it should come up for you. It's fun, fun, fun. And I love the fact that the top of it is wired, so I can make it taller. I can make it a little more whimsical if I need to. How stinking fun is that? So this is the front that I purchased from Hobby Lobby. If you wanted to use one of these that I purchased from Hobby Lobby, you could certainly turn it into a jack-o'-lantern with black marker, black paint. Actually, I wouldn't use a marker. I would use the paint pens. But certainly, simple way to turn that into a jack-o'-lantern. Y'all, I'm not kidding. Let's see if we can get a close-up. The front of our design. And again, when I do a centerpiece, I like it to look beautiful from every angle. And this one did not disappoint. Have a great rest of your Wednesday afternoon. It's hump day. And stay cool, please.